for the EV, riding around my city. You should come ride with me, yeah. Feel me if you hear me, sip water like a fish, sip box water to the gillies, yeah. This a new wave, this a takeover. Do it for the future, time to get a world of makeover. Time never stops, no the timing is not. Time to clean up the block. Streets been a mess, how can I breathe? Smoke in the air, pure gasoline. I see.
What's good, family? It's your boy, it's your player partner, Damon up in the building. We Talk Hawks TV, we Talk Hawks Daily. Want to come and do a quick live with y'all, man. Let's talk about what we got going on today. You feel me? Quinn Snyder, man. Quinn Snyder looks like that's gonna be the hire as our next head coach for our Atlanta Hawks. Let's talk about it. Also, let's talk about some of these interviews that the players have been given since the firing of Nate McMillan. I mean, so I watched a couple, and I watched the Collins interview. I watched the Dre Hunter, the Clint Capella interview. And it seems like to me, the common denominator is accountability. That seems like that's the common denominator. I think Dre Hunter made a great point today. Shout out, salute everybody in the chat. Salute John, the homie Dwayne P up in the building, Nate the Great, the Bud up in the building, my boy Starks in the building. Salute to all y'all. Thanks for your, I appreciate the support for the channel. Salute. But back to what I was saying, man, I think my boy RC up in the building was good. I think the common denominator is accountability, man. It's accountability. And y'all have heard me say it before. A coach, shout out Sports and Society up in the building. A coach can't really a coach can't hold players accountable if he doesn't have the support from the front office, guys. We know that from the jump. You have to have support from the front office in order to hold players accountable. So I hear Dre Hunter up there talking about and I think Dre Hunter made the best point. I mean, he probably the closest to what I've been saying. You cannot, at the end of the day, guys, you can question Nate's rotations all you want. You can question that he just stands there all you want. But at the end of the day, like Dre Hunter said, I right out of his mouth, the players have to execute the game plan. Point blank, period. It don't matter what scheme you draw up. It don't matter what you tell the players. At the end of the day, they the ones who going on the court to execute. At the end of the day, the coach isn't the one shooting 32% from three-point land like Trae Young is. The coach isn't the one shooting 24% from three like John Collins is. Okay? At the end of the day, the players still have to execute whatever game plan you come up with. So no matter what coach you bring in, if the players can't execute the game plan, you're going to get these results. Let's keep it real here, man. And you know, that's all I try to tell people, man. Let's just be one thing we all can agree on as Atlanta Hawk fans. This is one thing we all can agree on. We all can agree that the Hawks right now at 29-30 have underachieved. That's one thing we all can agree on. No matter what other stuff we disagree. You can disagree about the coach, you can disagree about the player, but at the end of the day, we all can agree that this team has underperformed, okay? Point blank, period. There's no way around it. And me being a real fan, and trying to be non-biased. Bro, come on. Let's be honest here. Everybody from Tony Wrestler on down to the last player on the bench has played a part in this team's underachieving, self-destruction. I mean, all the stuff that is leaked out, front office jacking stuff up, not being on the same page, players going behind Nate McMillan back. I mean, you can be, if you're really honest with yourself as a fan of this team, you can point the finger to everybody on the court. Minus, I'm not counting, you know, our young players, AJ, JJ. I'm not counting them. And here's another thing that John Collins said. Let me see if I could pull up these interviews. John Collins said Nate McMillan is more suited for older players. When he said that, the first thing that came in my head was, so what you telling me is this: you need to be spoon-fed information all the time. When you say that, that's what I took from that, just that one line. Because you're going to sit there and say he's made for, what's the difference between older players and younger players? And the first thing that pops in my head is older players don't have to be spoon-fed. They don't have to be told every little thing to do. That's a concern for me. John also said, and I'm not upset with John. I appreciate John Collins for being 100% honest. I appreciate that. He also said we should get a younger coach who can, you know, do more developing. So when he says that, so we could do more developing or continue to develop, the first thing that popped in my head was, well, if that's the case, why did we mortgage our future and trade for DeJounte Murray? You make a move, by the way, y'all see I'm wearing 5 today. You make a move like that, you trade in 3 first-round picks and a pick swap for a player. You do that when you're ready to make a run for a championship, when you're looking for the missing superstar, the missing star, whatever you want to call them. You don't do that. You don't make that type of deal if we still need to develop the players, because now we don't have no draft assets. Excuse me, we have very minimum draft assets. And then the dumbass general manager went and traded 5 second-round picks for Sadiq Bey. So we don't got really much, no draft assets right now. What the fuck are we supposed to do? We have no draft assets. We just fired the coach. The front office is a shambles. Like, let me tell y'all something, man. That's why they need to let me be in charge of this organization. Okay? Let me be in charge. Because I'm going to tell you the first place they messed up at. The first place they messed up at, the first place is Tony Wrestler interfering in basketball business. He is not a basketball guy. Tony Wrestler is a billionaire. He's good at whatever he made his billions in. That's what he's good at. He not good at judging talent and putting together a basketball team. So why is he meddling? Just because you own the team don't mean you should meddle in it. You ain't learned from Jerry Jones. Let me drop the link, man, real quick. Because, you know, I can get up here and start running my mouth. Let me drop the link real quick. Now, y'all tell me if I'm crazy or if I sound stupid or if I'm wrong. Let me know. Because let me tell you something, okay? So now they make a move for Quinn Snyder. Now they rushing get a coach. Okay, let me bring my boy Mr. Gray up in the building. What's good, my guy? Talk to me, man.
Hey, what's good with you? So,
homeboy,
I heard all the interviews as well, man. I didn't take what you took from from the Collins comment. I did take what you were talking about as far as being spoon fed, but I think what he basically meant was, and it was kind of confusing to me too, right? Because the whole reason they fired Lord Pierce was because he was being too hard on him. That was the whole reason they fired Lord Pierce.
And remember,
because he was getting in their butt.
Hey, remember, Cam Reddish said that.
Yeah,
Boy,
he
Pierce
said he always on me.
Like he hurt his feelings or some shit.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like you a grown man? What are you talking about?
Yeah. So now check it. When they made the run, they was like, they were saying, okay, they going into their third and fourth year. We need to bust a move because we're trying to keep Trae Young. You know what I'm saying? They were saying all this stuff, right? And so, if you think about it, Nate McMillan got fired from the Pacers because he was doing the same thing that Pierce was doing to the Hawks.
But
he was being too hard on them.
But the biggest difference, though, but Mr. Gray, the biggest difference is this: if you go back and you watch the games we played the Pacers, right? At the end of the game, all the Pacers players came over and gave Nate McMillan a hug. So maybe because he was a hard leader, but maybe he was hard, but he was a fair leader. You can be hard and fair.
He was, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So when he came over to the Hawks, he said it. He said, "I got to change my ways. I want to be a more softer guy, a more nicer, softer guy." He said that, and guess what? That backfired on him. So if you ask me, he should have just stayed the same because that's what John Collins was talking about. They said he wasn't holding nobody's feet to the fire. They were saying he wasn't developing them. You know what I'm saying? So basically, he was saying what you were saying. They wanted him to spoon feed them. They wanted him to hold folks accountable. And what he was doing was he said, "You know what? Y'all grown. Y'all say y'all grown. I'm gonna give you the script. I'm gonna tell y'all what y'all need to do. I just expect y'all to execute it."
But Mr. Gray, you do know why he couldn't hold nobody accountable, right?
Almost definitely. Yeah.
I mean, when your star player can go above your head and speak to ownership, there's nothing you could do as a coach about that.
I agree with you. I am totally on the same page with you, man. But
now, don't get me wrong, Mr. Gray. Don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here and saying Nate was the guy to coach his team.
Yeah, I'm not saying it either. I'm not saying it either.
Yeah, I'm not saying it either. I'm in here trying to defend Nate and all this jazz.
Yeah, it's not the point of me defending Nate or me defending Pierce. The point is what do these players fucking want? Because you had one, you said that wasn't good enough. Then he gave you then you got the other end of the stick, and that wasn't good enough. So what do you want? Like, what kind of coach? That's why they kept asking him. They say, hey, they asked every player, what kind of coach do y'all want to come in here and y'all think is going to be good for y'all? And nobody could answer the question, right? Because they don't know what they fucking want. That's the problem.
Because you know what, Mr. Gray? It's funny because, like, I look at myself, right? And I know what type of person I am. Mm-hmm. I'm one of them people, and it's always good. And maybe I'm saying this because I'm a little older than most. It's always good to know what type of person you are. So, like, I'm the type when at my job, my supervisor, like I tell my supervisor, I'm over 40 years old. So you don't got to sugarcoat shit with me. Mm-hmm. I like my shit shot straight. Like if I'm not doing my job to the correct standard, let me know. Don't sugarcoat, don't lie, don't beat around the bush. Say, you know what, Damon, you fucking up. And I'll be like, got it. I'll get my shit, I'll square my shit away. You feel me?
But guess what though?
What's
we
up?
Talking about this is a different generation of players though, right?
I know, man.
They touchy Philly, bro. They touchy Philly, man. They touchy Philly.
You gotta what's the phrase? You gotta be delicate with them. How that phrase go? You gotta kid gloves, something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You gotta coddle them and handle them with white gloves, feathery gloves. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I mean, just think about listen. So I always listen to the players, right? Doing the interview.
Right.
I can recall back when we got beat in the playoffs, and the first thing Gallo said was, "These boys are not taking this stuff serious." That's the first thing he said, right? And now where is Clint Capella saying? Here we are. We'll win 2 games, and then they think we doing stuff, and then they start pulling out the chains. They start dancing. They start doing all this stuff. You get what I'm saying? So I thought it was a little different from because everybody keeps bringing up the year that they went far in the playoffs, right? But I keep telling folks, look, that whole bench was old folks.
Bro, that's
When you have a lot of veteran leadership on the bench, then you can get away with a lot of stuff. I heard somebody else on here yesterday say they just throw it in the paint to Gallo, and he used to make it work, right? I remember Bogey always said, "Hey man, I love playing with Gallo because you know what I'm saying, he makes the game easy." When Sweet Lou was there, I love playing with Sweet Lou because he makes the game easy. These boys, they don't want to do what they're supposed to do.
You know what?
We talk about basketball IQ all the time. They don't got it though.
You know what's sad when you talk about veterans? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm about to say this just off the top of my head.
Go ahead.
I think John Collins is the vet. Is anybody else older than him on the team?
Yeah. There's some people older than him on the team.
Who we got?
Capella is older.
Bogey is older. But John been in Atlanta longer though, right?
Yes, he's the team vet. Yes, as far as the tenure on the team. Yes.
Okay.
So, but I'm gonna let somebody else talk. But I got to say this. I got a question for you.
Okay.
If you got John Collins, if it's me, and y'all can disagree if y'all want to, it's cool. But if it's me, right, this is what I'm finna do. As the new coaches, this is the first thing I'm gonna do. First of all, I'm gonna start Okongwu over Collins for the rest of the season because the Hawks suck in the paint, right? They need more defense in the paint. They need all this stuff, right? And then when I bring Collins in, I'm going to bring Collins in as the center. I know that's bad, right? But I got to get this man back to doing what he was doing before Capella got there, and that's the pick and roll guy. I need to turn him back into a 20 and 10 guy. And if that's being at the center position, I would rather have a 20 and 10 guy at the center position as the backup center, right? Or at least play the center role. Or even if he play power forward, just let him be the pick and roll guy again. I would rather him be a 20 and 10 guy coming off the bench than a 13 and 7 guy in the starting lineup.
Well, you know what? I'm going to say this, then I'm going to hit up, then I'm going to go to RJ. If I was bringing Collins off the bench, I'm starting Sadiq Bey at the 4 because that gives me a ball handler, basically like a less aggressive Julius Randle type of player. He can dribble the ball, he can handle the ball, he can attack the basket. So that switches up the dynamic of the team. Now, if Collins could dribble the ball, then I will keep him at the 4 and then just start Okongwu. But since I think if you did start Sadiq Bey over Collins, which guess what? That's finna happen because Collins is in concussion protocol, so he ain't playing.
He is. But do you think it hurt with the rebounder because he's not a good rebounder? He don't play defense. We already sucking on defense. We already suck on defense, and we already hurt.
At the end of the day, hold on, Jordan. At the end of the day, you know, you got the way that this team is built. You got to give up something. So you can either give up a little bit of rebounding for more scoring and more ball handling, or you can go rebounding, but you're going to have limited ball handlers on the court, limited playmakers on the court. So you got to pick your poison. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
But let me go to RJ. Talk to me, RJ. What's your thoughts about
what's good, brother?
About what you're seeing today, interviews, and is Quinn that guy for this team or what?
Hey man, I want to say this, and we really need to nip this in the bud real quick. Double O is not a 4, man. He is not a 4. Double O is not a 4. He can't shoot. He can't shoot the 3 ball consistently. he can play that defensive role, but man, offensively, he's not a 4. He's not a 4. Double O is a 5. He's a 5.
We definitely know he's not a 4, but don't we need more rebounding and defense in the paint though?
Yeah, we definitely do. We definitely do. I'm just saying we can't put Double O at the 4. That's just not his game. That's not his game.
Go ahead. Hold up. Let's hey, go ahead, RJ. Say your point so we can hit up Jordan. And
okay, all right.
We'll open the
my bad, man. My bad.
Yeah. So here's the thing, man. Speaking on that, Snyder is looking like he's gonna be the guy. I wanna bring this up, man. Ime Udoka is being blackballed right now. He's not getting the coaching job anytime soon, man. He's being blackballed. They got stories coming out about this dude saying he done got a chick pregnant. Like, these are just rumors. They're saying dude got a chick pregnant that works for the organization, and they talking about he got 5 or 6 women he was messing with within the organization. It could be some possible stuff going on with that, but he's being blackballed right now. So for anybody thinking they want Udoka, bro, I'm telling you right now, he's out.
But
he's being blackballed right now, man.
I hate to say it. I hate to say it though, but I'm gonna say it. That's what he doing. That's not illegal. He ain't breaking.
No, it's not. It's not. But that's why I said he's being blackballed right now, and I think it's done got around the league saying, "Hey, don't hire this dude. Okay. Don't hire this dude." Because if y'all didn't know, the Nets actually tried to get at him when he got let go by the Celtics.
He did.
And I think this is just my opinion. I think Boston is really blocking dude, and it's a rumor going around about him. And I'm telling you, he's being blackballed.
Well, the thing of this, RJ, and then I'm gonna let you get your point out. This is the thing. He not being. I don't think he's being blackballed. What I think it is teams don't want to deal with the backlash that you're gonna get if you hire him from women.
Most definitely.
From women organization groups. You know what I'm saying? How could you support even though he ain't break no law.
Right.
He may have broke an organizational rule.
Right.
But to me, I don't consider that breaking the law.
I don't either.
If you can't go to jail for it, you ain't breaking the law. Okay.
Right.
Now
so,
you're
more. But here's my thing.
Talk. What's your point? Get your point out?
So here's the thing, man. I'm gonna get on this right here, man. Quinn Snyder looks like he's gonna be a good hire. I do like the idea of bringing in Steve Nash because I've heard, Damon, I think you might have brought this up. They said something about that Steve Nash may be working with Snyder as head assistant coach. I like the idea. We'll see how it goes. But this is what I really want to say, man. I think as a fan, we can't shoot it down until we see it. We can't shoot it. And I know that's difficult for us because we've been going through a lot with this team. But, man, let's try not to shoot it down until we can see it on the court, man. I think that's important, too. We got to get – I'm not a big fan of the guys in the front office. I'm really not a big fan of what the players have been some of the things I've been seeing from the players. But one thing I will say, we got to give it a chance. We got to give it a chance and just see what happens. Because I'm telling you, man, if we already go into it talking about, man, this ain't going to work, this is that, we can't do that, man. We got to at least give this thing a chance to see if it can work. One thing I do want to say is this, too. One thing I do like that we're going to get with Snyder, I like the veteran presence he comes with as far as the coaching, but he does a good job with young players. I mean, for all intents, Donovan Mitchell was a trip too, man. Let's not forget Donovan Mitchell, man. He had some issues over there in Cleveland, but Snyder was able to handle that.
I'm gonna tell you, RJ.
Yeah.
You know what Quinn playoff record is?
Oh yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible.
21 and 30.
It's horrible. I
you
hear
know,
you.
RJ, he had Gobert, a 3-time defensive player of the year.
Yep.
Donovan Mitchell, and he couldn't get past the second round. I'm only bringing that up because I know a lot of people who don't like Nate like to bring up his playoff record, like to bring stuff up like that.
Yeah.
So,
but like I said again, we got to give this thing a chance, man. We got to give it a chance. It's here, right? I mean, for all intents and purposes, dude is pretty much hired, right? And you always say they're gonna be on the team. I support the team. We gotta see it. We just gotta see it, man. That's all I can really say. We have to see it. And I'm gonna make this one last point, man. We changed GMs. We've changed coaches. If this does not work, it's the players. And that's when you start talking about we're gonna have to trade DeJounte, we're gonna have to trade Trae, John, everybody, because we're in rebuild mode. Because if you go from the GM, he said, all right, the GM's the problem. We're gonna bring in our guys. Okay. Then we say we're gonna bring in the coach, a new coach. All right, cool. The only thing that's left is the players, man. And if they can't figure it out, I agree with Demond, man. We're gonna have to rebuild, man.
Well, I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
It's been the players, bro.
Yeah.
It's been the players. The coach ain't out there shooting the ball, man.
I agree.
The coach ain't out there playing defense.
But
Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. These fans, right? And I can tell who recently just started following the Hawks, who only followed the Hawks because we got Trae Young.
Right.
Okay. And the reason I could tell is because they so scared if he leaves. And like I tell people, I was here before Trae got here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be here when his ass gone.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, I need people who gonna go out there and win freaking games. I don't care. See, I don't care about the younger fans.
Yeah.
They like that all-star shit. They like. I don't care about that shit. I don't care if you're an all-star or not.
Championships.
I care about,
that's what I want.
Games. Win games.
Championships.
There we go. Talk to me, Jordan. What's good, my guy? And then we got
you. What's going on, gentlemen? What's going on, gentlemen? It's good seeing you guys. I was on this morning and I talked a little bit about the concerns I had with Quinn Snyder. So we can touch on those a little bit later. But I did want to quickly touch on the point that was brought up earlier, right? About, whether he's the right coach or not. And ultimately for me, guys, like it's tough because you saw what he had before. He had a great lineup before with great solid defenders, lengthy players, a different build of a team in a certain sense, but it still was built around a small point guard, and he was still never able to get over the hump in the playoffs. That's concerning to me. I don't really know. I'm with you, RJ, in the sense that we can't really judge it before it happens. But all I'm going to say is the bottom line is this. There's two things here. Number one, Demond says it all the time, and he's right on this point, guys. If Quinn Snyder comes in here and he doesn't have control of the basketball team, forget about it. Right. And that's number one. If he comes in here and that front office does not give him the capability to make the team he wants, and especially not only in the season to make the rotations, et cetera, he wants, but this man has to come in here and he has to have a say in the offseason for when they're looking to bring players in, for when they're looking to draft players. Like, you need to have a coach that's involved here because this front office don't know what the fuck they're doing. This is a very young front office, and this is a coach who is experienced and does know the game of basketball. So you need to include him in those conversations, right? That's number one. But number two is, to RJ's point, in a certain sense, I have a big issue with this for one sense. No matter what happens, from this point forth for the rest of the season, it is not the coach's fault. That is done and dusted, right? If these players come in here and they don't play, their ass off, it is on the players, not on the coaching staff, right? You know that going in when you hire a coach with I don't know, less than a month and a half left to go in the season, right? But one more thing to Mr. Gray and Demond here. You guys were talking about it earlier about John Collins, right? You guys were saying what Gray was saying, John Collins should come off the bench, right, rather than play at the 4. My thought is this. I don't think that that's necessarily a smart decision. I think the issue is you can utilize – I don't think John Collins was utilized correctly in a Nate McMillan system, man. He was set up to be shooting all the time. That's not his game. And we've seen it before where John Collins can be successful, especially in a playoff format. He played well in those playoffs when we made that run, but we need to utilize him the correct way. We have to get him to get in positions to drive more and be more aggressive. And I think that by doing that, you'll unlock more potential from a John Collins and really get him to where he needs to be. I think, Gray, I understand what you're saying, but if we're going to continue to use him as a spot up shooter, that was the issue. You're expecting this guy to pull up and shoot 40% from three when he's shooting 4 or 5 attempts per game minimum. Like, you can't do that with a guy like him. He can knock it down, but you got to utilize him the right way. Don't force the shot, allow the shot to happen. That's the difference. And I think that if we do that, John Collins can be in a position to be successful, and it can definitely aid the Atlanta Hawks moving forward this year, especially. So anyways, I'll move it on to Farrell because I said a lot of points this morning.
So on Quinn, he was my number 2. And I know you said Ime's blackballed, but until we have an official hire, I'm still rooting for Ime. As far as the interviews, I think everybody talking about accountability and somebody was missing. I feel like some of them was low-key shots at Trae, especially John Collins. Saying, everybody got to be held accountable from the top to the bottom. You know what I mean? We know Trae go to the front office and do what he wants. Also, on the JC stuff, I feel like JC, people want him to still be putting up 20 and 10 based off that money. When he's now the 4th option, at best 3rd, he got that money being the 1st or 2nd option. So DJ said all the time, we need to get him more involved. So Trae pick and roll with Clint a million times more than he do with JC.
Yeah. And JC's a better finisher. It makes no sense.
Mm-hmm. So he can't get enough, and he ain't. We know he ain't a 3-point shooter. They've been having him standing out there trying to shoot threes. That just ain't what he need to be doing.
Yeah,
that ain't what he was doing when he was doing 20 and 10 and got the money.
Yeah, he was terrible.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
He was terrible this year from 3, man. Terrible.
That's what I'm saying.
And I just think the issue is you can't force shots from a guy like him.
They got him shooting. They got him shooting too many threes. That's the problem.
That's it.
I can take 2 from John Collins. I can take 2
because he'll knock down one of them.
Yeah,
if you give him low attempts, Damon, he'll knock one down, bro.
He probably need another year off season shooting threes to be shooting more than 2, in my opinion. But like I told y'all, man, and like y'all saying, and matter of fact, let me pivot real quick because I just been on my mind today. And I think the homeboy Dwayne P brought it up early in the chat. I need to know why Trae Young has not spoken to the media today. Okay,
what they said on the radio? 48 hours of silence.
This my thing. Yeah, because he was so-called whatever. This my thing. If you as the leader of the team, I don't care if he go up there and make. Get him old Marshawn Lynch responses. Hey, I'm just here so I don't get fired. Okay. But you need, when an event like this happens and you the star player and they finna blame you, you as the leader need to be in front of that microphone. 1, to show the team, hey, I'm a leader and I'm gonna stand up here and I'm speaking for I'm speaking for my team. 2, so you can control your own narrative. When you don't say nothing, right, you allow others to make a narrative and control it. And that's what you don't want that to happen, because guess what? When people what's the saying? I know I'm tripping today. I can't remember nothing, but what's the saying? A lie is a lie.
Faster than the truth.
How I go? A lie could turn into some shit like that. Y'all know what I'm talking about, though.
You tell a lie enough, it turns into the truth.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I wish he would have went out there and controlled the narrative. Just simple. You know what, guys? You know what? No matter what he did behind the scenes, if that's me, I'm at the front. I'm like this, guys. All right, Trae, what's going on? You know what? I'm sorry Nate lost his job. We didn't do our job as players to keep him here. I'm sorry for that. We're going to try better. It starts with me. Y'all know the whole mumbo jumbo, blah, 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 blah. Just so he can set his own narrative without him saying nothing. Now you got cats from like Mike Bell on 92.9 The Game talking shit about it. Bruh, the dude, Mark Lamont Hill, I don't even know why he talking about the Hawks. I didn't even know he followed basketball. To be honest, he like some scholar, some CNN scholar or something. He over here on Twitter with a whole post about Trae is behind the firing of Nate McMillan. Man, listen, guys. Quinn Snyder, like I said earlier, I don't know if y'all follow me on Twitter, but I was on Twitter today, and this is what I said, guys. Let me know if y'all disagree or agree. I said, if I'm Quinn Snyder, I don't care about the money. I'll come coach the team, but I need power.
Yeah.
I need power over my players, and I'm gonna need power when we making moves to trade and move players. Okay, because right now, if they could give a coach $10 million a year to come coach here, guess what? If you don't have power, you're gonna get done the same way Nate just got done. You're gonna have the best player not listening to you, going over your head, talking to ownership to get his way. Let's keep it a buck. That's what when they say accountability, when they say my bad, RJ. Let me
go ahead.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
When you hear them boys talk about accountability, they talking about Trae. Bro, Trae Young blew Nate McMillan off with that timeout. Right then, I was like, oh, he don't have no control over Trae Young. And then guess what? He blew Nate McMillan off for the timeout. Go down there, shoot an air ball. Guess what? Did he come out the game? No. Any other player, Nate would have took their ass out. Guess what? If that was Jalen Johnson or AJ, their ass would have been out the game. Right?
Real fast.
But hold on, Mr. Gray. Hold on, let me get this out. So then RJ, then I come back to you.
Oh no,
so,
I ain't gonna come.
You need power. Mm-hmm. And I hate to say it like that, like I'm saying it like I'm some type of overseer or slave master, but you know what I'm talking about. You cannot have your employees go over your head as a supervisor, because you have one, you lose respect from the other players. Oh, this dude ain't listening to him. So guess what? I'm not finna listen to this cat. Go ahead, RJ.
No, I was just really going to piggyback off what you were saying about this whole power dynamic. I think that's probably maybe a little bit of the reason why Snyder had brought up, like, he wanted to be I believe the coach and the general manager. I don't know if y'all president of basketball operations. I think Snyder he said something to that effect. He wanted to be the coach and the president of basketball operations. So, that would be a lot of power.
He said that?
Yeah,
you know why he said that?
And I know why he said that,
RJ?
Yeah.
You know why he said that? Because like I tell people, you don't think Quinn Snyder ain't on the phone with Nate McMillan talking about, hey, bro, what's popping off over there? Why you want to quit? He ain't gonna ask why you get fired, because he already Nate McMillan tried to quit. He probably say, hey, bro, why'd you want to get up out of there?
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna pick and just to tap in on that real quick, I'm gonna say this: Snyder is a veteran guy. He's been at college at the highest level, and he's been at pros.
And he a lawyer.
Take no job where he feeling like he's gonna be less than. That's just not. That wouldn't be in his makeup.
And he's the main name in the market right now, RJ. And he's the only recognizable name that's available for coaching. That's the other thing. He's got so much leverage right now, because who else, other than Ime, with all that bullshit going on, what other name do you recognize in the coaching?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? He's got the whole division, bro.
I agree. And Snyder can pretty much, like you said, he can write. All he got to do is put a blank check in front of wrestler, and he going to let them know, like, look, you sign this check, I own you. That's what Snyder's telling him. You sign this check, you hire me, I own you. And I think that means.
But this is the thing, RJ. This is the thing. This is the thing. Let me ask you this, and let me get y'all opinion on this, RJ, Mr. Gray, Pharaoh Jordan. If you listen to how this sound, right? If Quinn Snyder is the coach and the president of basketball, he basically is Landry Field's boss. And because the president is above the general manager. Yeah. But the coach is below the general manager. See what I'm saying?
He's covering his ass.
And one, what do y'all think about that? And two, before y'all respond, this is what happens when you as the owner don't set the standard. Mm-hmm. When you don't have people follow the chain of command. Now you gonna have the head coach as the president.
I think he
who
wants
basically
vice
tell
president.
Landry what to do because he.
I think they said vice
Whatever he
president,
want,
which would
whatever he
make him
want,
under
bro.
Landry.
I don't.
No.
Whatever he want, I don't even blame him, bro. Because I
Yeah.
want all the power, especially when
Yeah.
I know what's going on. If I talk,
And
you-
listen,
Nick,
Snyder
tell me
may
that.
be, Snyder may be horrible as a president, but you know what? Like I said before, he's covering his own behind. Snyder knows one thing: this front office is in shambles. I got to
He
make
don't
sure
wanna
I'm
be-
good.
He don't want to end up like Nathan Miller.
Exactly.
Just
He
dead
said,
with
I'm
no
gonna make
power.
sure I'm good.
What's your thoughts on that, Mr. Gray?
Listen, man. It's just common sense. I wouldn't touch this Hawks job with a 5 foot or a 50-foot pole
I
with
wouldn't
the
either, dog.
ownership, with the players acting the way they acting. Like it's like a prison, and they don't need a coup up in there. They got the flag flying upside down. They don't took over there or something. You know?
Yeah.
Hey, you can't listen. Why would you? I'm not gonna risk my reputation to come over here and get with y'all clowns.
You right, bro.
I need some assurances. You know,
That's it right there. That's it.
You know what,
You hit
Mr.
the
Gray?
nail on the head. I need
I would not
insurance.
be surprised. I would not be surprised if this deal if it falls apart. Because
wouldn't be surprised
it's a power struggle.
I wouldn't be surprised. I
It's a
wouldn't be
power
surprised.
struggle.
But if
And
it
that's why I
does
put on
fall apart, though,
That's why I put on Twitter.
Yeah.
I said, don't be surprised if the Hawks go look for a first-time head coach, because guess what? That first-time head coach, he gonna be a yes man because he just want the opportunity,
right?
And he don't know no better. He just want the opportunity. An experienced coach like a Quinn Snyder, who, like Jordan said, the hottest coach on the market right now.
Yeah.
You think he finna come over there and just be like, have no control?
Oh yeah.
And you know what? One thing I will say is right. Like, and I think we all gotta give them a little praise. And I'm not one to give that front office any praise, but at least they didn't go for that coach who doesn't have any experience in the game. You know what I mean? At least they did go for the coach who knows basketball. You know what I mean? Because this would have been a great opportunity for them, because that Landry Fields wants to have that power and he wants to be involved in this basketball team. And we all know what would have happened if he had sole control, right? So the bottom line is, at least he went out there and he got a coach who knows basketball. And I mean, that to me, that's telling, because this team wants to be something, special in the future.
According to him, he does have sole control.
He don't. I'm gonna tell you something, guys, and y'all follow me here. Off of what Jordan said, Landry don't have a choice. You know why? Because, guys, think about it. If this is the last move right here, bro. If this don't work, if we under 500 or close to 500 next year this time, guess who might leave in the offseason? DeJounte Murray. He a free agent.
Yeah.
And guess what? We can't afford for him to leave. Because we gave up 3 first-round picks in the pick swap.
Right.
Exactly.
So guess what? If Landry don't really have a choice, if he want to keep his job, can you imagine if, say, next year this time, say we just 30-30? Do you really believe? Would you really be? What's the word I'm looking for? Would you really have that faith that DeJounte going to re-sign with this team if we are 30-30 at the All-Star break next year?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
So guess what that means?
Yeah.
But I also don't think Landry's job will be on the line.
But guess what, Pharaoh? Guess what? If we 30-30, if I'm the general manager, right, and we 30-30 by before the trade deadline, I'm trading DeJounte Murray, because I'm not gonna take a chance and lose him for nothing. You feel me?
Me too.
So,
but again, who is your best friend? Who is your best friend though?
Who?
Nick. Are you going to lose your job?
Yeah, because guess what's going to happen? And this just me. I'm just foreseeing stuff. If we 30-30 by the All-Star break, and you trade DeJounte because you like, I don't know if he gonna stay or go, because obviously you're gonna have talks with him during the season. So you got to be able to get a good feel from him as the general manager, as the president. Like, okay, I don't really got a warm and fuzzy that he gonna stay, and you got to trade him.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if Trae Young asked for a trade afterwards.
Oh, without a
Because
doubt.
he's like,
Without a
bro,
doubt.
I don't want to start over.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's why this move right here, it has to work.
Yeah.
Or we gonna be in
I agree with that.
of trouble. We going next year this time talking about the fucking lottery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how we're gonna rebuild this
But
team. Because we just traded away the
silver lining is if we do have to go down that road, we got some good assets we can trade. I mean, we do have some good assets.
What assets we got? We don't got no good assets.
You got
our
trade.
best assets.
If you're talking about the two stars leaving, Trae and
that's
DJ.
what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about trading your stars. You have to trade. You would have to trade DeJounte. You would have to trade Trae Young. So at least you got two assets.
But I will say this though, RJ, bro. If Trae has another season like he had this season, let me tell you that value's down, bro.
Oh yeah,
that value's down.
Now, I will say this: I'm not banking on
RJ. Yeah, RJ. What you don't want to happen is, say we 500. Say we one game below 500. What you don't want to happen. You don't want Trae Young to request the trade. That's what you don't want to happen.
Right.
Because then his value really tanks.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
And you know what? So, that should be worrisome. That should be worrisome.
That's why this Quinn right now.
Yeah.
Hold on. What's his contract? It just started this year, right?
Who contract? Trae, yeah, his max kicked in this year. He had 37 million this year.
So he technically wouldn't have no leverage next year. It'd be like the year or so after.
Yeah.
No, the leverage
He'd be in the same situation as KD.
No, the leverage will be this. We wouldn't really get much for him if he requests a trade. When players
at the time, though, you can make him stay. You can make, if it's still got 4 years next year, you can make him stay.
Yeah, you can, but I mean, you saw how the NBA works, man.
You saw what happened when we made Nate McMillan stay.
Yeah,
I think Nate McMillan. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. I really think Nate McMillan was sabotaging us these last couple games, bro.
Hey, man,
I really think he was.
Hey, players do it all the time. Players do it all the time. Players
like
some of his protections made like no sense. Hey, like the second unit be cooking, and then he just take all of them out.
You know, hey, Demond, man, let me say this, man. If I have anything to say about Nate, that was one that pissed me off, man. He had games with Jalen Johnson. I mean, dude was cooking, man. Like, I mean, really cooking. And he would take him out in the like, bro, what are you doing? AJ Griffin knocking down threes. He'd take him out the game. And I do think it's some merit to that. Nate McMillan was like, y'all won't let me leave. I'm gonna make y'all want me to get up out of here.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Y'all better be excited. Y'all better be excited for Quinn Snyder for one reason, guys. Because the one thing that he does have a great track record with is turning these forwards into great defending players. Like you saw it with Jared Vanderbilt. You know what I mean? Like he had some of these guys in the rotation who he turned into really plus defenders. You know what I mean? So I mean, like a guy like Jalen Johnson's going to be good in his system, and you'll see him. And I don't know how much of an immediate impact he'll have, but you'll see him for years to come make a serious step over time. You know what I mean? Like these are guys that are going to be impact players, and he's going to turn them into that. But one thing, but just quickly back on Trae Young though, right? About him requesting a trade, like that is one thing that is very interesting about this hire, right? Because you know Quinn Snyder's going to come in and have power. We talked about that. He wouldn't come if he didn't, right? Trae Young has the power right now. Let's not pretend like that ain't the case, right? I'm interested to see how he reacts when he comes in the front door. And I think it's going to be very interesting to watch because Trae Young likes calling the shots, and he ain't going to be calling the shots.
And I'm going to tell you,
he bringing Steve Nash too, though, so you know that's his guy.
Hey, Jordan, I'm going to tell you this too, man. Just looking at a guy like a Quinn Snyder, he's like, yeah, try that if you want to. Try that if you want to. You know, because if it was me, I'd be like, bro, I have you on the trade block tomorrow if that's the case. You know, because at the end of the day, man, listen, I like Trae. I like him. He's one of my favorite players. But I tell you what, I'm a Hawks fan first, man. I'm a Hawks fan first. Point blank, period. I don't care who you are. Whether it's Monte Murray, Trae Young, John Collins, I am a Hawks fan first.
Right, but RJ, the thing is with that, right? Like what Damon was saying, we can't have him request a trade. And that is one thing to worry about, bro. Because in this league, bro, you could be fucking Bojan Bogdanovic and request a trade.
Yeah.
It don't matter, right? It's not like what it was where you would get traded. You know, nobody's loyal anymore. They just want the money.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? The bottom line is Trae Young, with the way he's been playing, if he requests a trade, the Hawks are in a bad spot. So if you're going to trade Trae Young, that's fine, but do it under him, bro. Don't you let him know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You have to do it. You definitely have to move covert with this thing. You would definitely have to move covert. The only problem is Trae's a talker, man. He'll get out there and say, hey, man, I want to trade, get up in front of the press conference and do some mess like that. But one thing I will say, man. Yeah. One thing I will say, though, man, DeMar, you made a good point, though, man. If this thing does not work out with Snyder, man, we are really setting ourselves up to be at least 5 to 10 years before we can even get back to even saying this team is a playoff team. Can you imagine going through that again? Can you imagine going through that again?
10 years, dog. We're going to be back about 10 years, man. Strictly well, it depends. If DeJounte leave and we don't get nothing for him, then we in trouble.
Oh yeah.
But if we could salvage a couple picks, and I hate to say it, bro, I saw that damn trade proposal, the one they put up by the Brooklyn Nets.
Bro, you saw that.
If you offer me that right now, I would take that deal, dog. They will.
Trae
Young and Sadiq Bey for Cam Thomas, and that his name Cam Thomas. For the Nets. He just went off for like 40. It was Cam Thomas. What's my guy they got from the Phoenix Suns?
Mikal Bridges.
What's the 3-point shooter they got? The white guy.
Joe Harris.
Joe Harris. Joe Harris. 3 first-round picks.
Done.
I would do that.
I would do it with Mikal Bridges is a serious piece, guys. I'd fucking do it for 2. Maybe 1 or 2. Maybe 1 or 2 first. That would do it for me. Cam Thomas is up and coming too, bro. Yeah, we've been hooping,
bro. If they offer me that right now, I would do it. I ain't even gonna lie to you, bro. Yeah. I'm not even gonna lie because
no doubt
that's probably the best deal you could get. To be honest,
and guys, the value. Let's be straight. Let's just be honest for a second. The value is only going fucking down.
Yeah,
the value's only been going down, bro.
Unless Quinn can turn this team around. I mean, you don't get, bro. That's a legit superstar package right there. You get that turn.
And for the people listening, you have to remember we're basing this off of what guys are doing right now. You know, we're not talking about what they might do next year. This is strictly about what they doing right now, man. And we are struggling.
Raptors just won.
But really, I would want Mikal Bridges. What's selling me is Mikal Bridges and the picks. That's what's selling me.
I like that. I do like that.
And then I will build around. I will have Mikal. I will have Murray. And then remember, if you trade Trae, you get off that max money too. So they give us cap space. So depending on how we move numbers, I try to go find me another star to add with that.
You know
but I mean, hey,
I'm gonna say,
what you think about that, Mr. Gray?
I like what y'all saying, but I want to say this though.
Go ahead.
The one thing I think what a lot of people fail to realize about, and I think what's her name? Jordan brought it up earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
What Quinn is very good at is developing players.
Yep.
He is very good at developing players. I don't know, a lot of people might not remember, but he was on the Coach Bud's staff, right? When they was with the Hawks. When the Hawks sent like 4 people to the All-Star game. It was him, Snyder, and what's the other guy? I can't remember his name. He's open in Golden State right now as an assistant coach.
Atkinson.
Atkinson, right? All of them boys on the same bench, right? They were doing big stuff for the Hawks, and that was the year that Jeff Teague took the big jump.
Yeah,
all of the players. So he's very good at working with point guards, like you said, developing defensive players, having that. So I don't think that when he comes here, if he does come, right, if they give him the power, like I said, I think the power is just for to give himself some leeway in just in case things go bad.
Security.
But I don't believe some security, yeah. But I don't believe that he will fail with those guys. To be honest with you, I saw what he did to Spider. I saw how he transformed his game and made him a better player. I mean, and look at Spider now, right? Because he was not like this when he first came into the league. But that boy's a killer over there now in Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? But that became because, Snyder worked with him. And they had some fights. You know what I'm saying? Young players going to have fights, right? But some kind of way he was able to get in Spider head. And him and Spider was like this. If every play, you know what I'm saying? Even though they lost in those playoffs games, he had that boy playing at a high clip. You get what I'm saying? So I don't doubt that Snyder will get the best out of Trae Young or get the best out of Murray. And I don't doubt that he'll have a plan for developing guys. So that's not I know we kind of, we doing the woe is me a little bit and we doing worst case scenario, but I don't believe we're going to come to that. I honestly believe that, and he's very good at drawing up game plans as far as executing plays and things of that nature. So
now,
I don't believe.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I want Quinn to succeed here.
Of course.
Because don't get it twisted, chat. I'm all about win.
Yeah.
The thing with me is, I don't care who the coach. I don't care who on the team, as long as we winning games. So that's why to me, that's why I can look at the team. Since I don't have a favorite player on the Hawks, right? Because I don't do the favorite player shit. All my favorite players don't play. Okay. So when I look at the team, I can look at the team from a non-biased point of view. And I'm not scared if Trae leave. I'm not one of those fans who like, oh my God, if Trae leave. Like I tell people, I was here before Trae. I'll be here after Trae. Same thing for these coaches and the rest of these bums on the team. And let me tell you something else real quick. Let me get this off my chest. This team, they need some toughness. Because what I don't like how my boy John Collins got a damn concussion and ain't nobody on the team go out there and get no damn technical foul in retaliation. I don't like that.
They soft, bro. Soft. But they've been soft for a minute now. They've been soft for a minute now.
Hey, man, you know what that reminds me of? Before the Braves won their World Series, I remember the owner, he came out and said how pissed off he was that the bench didn't get up when Ronald Acuna got hit in the hand with the baseball. The next time that happened, the whole bench got up and fought for Ronald Acuna when he got hit by that baseball. And I do agree with you. There's something, it's a mentality, that dog mentality that's missing with our team.
Yeah,
that's a problem. There's a dog mentality that's missing, and I don't know if that can come from a vet, and I don't know if it can come from a guy on our team now. But that mentality is something that is sadly missing with this team. They need to have that dog in them, man, in order to win championships, go further in the playoffs. That's a mentality, and I think what I would really like to see. And I don't know if Quinn can do this. Snyder, I don't know if he can do this, but man, if he can bring that dog out of them boys, man, if he can bring that out of them, I think we can see a different team, man. I like I said, I want this team to win, man. I want them to win. So
whether Quinn. Sorry, my guy, I didn't mean to cut you off, boy.
Go ahead.
All I'm gonna say though is, and it starts with fucking tomorrow. Whether Quinn Snyder's the damn coach or not, this team needs to come out tomorrow. They're playing the Cavaliers, who are on a back-to-back and lost tonight. Okay, you need to come out there and establish yourself.
You know what that means? That means we're gonna lose. That's what that means. What's good? We got a new guy up here. What's up, C-Foot? Hey, you been
What's up, man?
C-Foot? My bad.
No, man. No, you might
okay,
see yes, there.
C-Foot. Thank you for coming
What's going on?
Channel, man. You know, hey.
Y'all probably seen me as Christopher. Yeah. You see me as Christopher Foot on the group.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I need to catch
Thank you for coming on this.
I told you I was gonna get it, man. Trying to catch up.
what's going on.
What's your thoughts about Quinn Snyder hire, and what's your overall thoughts about
So
the
did they
direction
actually
of this
hire him?
organization?
Did they actually
Not
hire him?
yet.
Not
I
yet.
mean,
Okay, yeah. Last I heard.
according to
Yeah,
it's not official. Not official.
I wouldn't be against it, right? You know, but at the end of the day, these soft ass dudes need to play, right? And just do what they need to do. And then one thing I've been saying is they've shown us they can do this, just like the run we just had, right? Yeah. So again, all these excuses, all this Trey, all this Nate, just you know how I am. Get on my nerves. At the end of the day, they're the ones on the damn court, and we soft in the locker room. We don't have no vets. I think the vets is the thing that's missing, because ain't nobody slapping nobody in the locker room. That's the problem.
Yeah. We need somebody slapping
Because
tonight.
I knew when I was in high school, we fighting in the locker room. It wasn't
Somebody.
we fighting. So that's the thing, and JC broke it down perfectly. JC said they are soft and they ain't doing what they're supposed to do. He called them soft. They're soft mentally. They just and they all keep telling we need another voice. They can miss me with that bullshit. And I think DeAndre Hunter kind of said that today as well. But they all said that they're not doing what they need to do. That's the key. All of them saying that. They're not doing what they need to do. So and me and you doing we've been saying that all along. Yeah, Nate needed to go regardless, right?
Right.
He needed to go, but he wasn't the problem. And so we got this heat on Trae now. Now folks talking about Trae missing he I mean, that dude ain't said nothing, and folks just keep coming up with something, right?
Right.
We don't need to hear from Trae about what happened. I just need 27-10 every night. I don't need to hear. I don't need.
You kind of do as a star, don't you need to hear from him?
No. Why? Why?
Because he's the star. He's the leader of the team.
It doesn't matter. See, people keep saying
I need my star. But see, this is the thing. This is the thing. Foot.
Mm-hmm.
Once you got the other players out there doing interviews and talking about it, now I need my star out there. Actually, me personally, if I was the star, I'd have been the first one giving the interview. Why? Like I said earlier, because I want to control the narrative. You already know Trae Young ain't dumb. He knew the day they fired Nate, they gonna blame him. So why not? Why not? Now I'm not saying he got to go out there and confess his sins, but like I said earlier, he went out there and said, "You know what, guys," and just lied. I'm sorry, Nate lost his job. Us as players, we got to hold ourselves accountable. Some type of mumbo jumbo, just to say, I'm controlling the narrative, and I'm not letting YouTubers, Twitter, just run off with their own ideas, spreading shit. You feel me? Not like I said, I don't need him go out there confessing or answering whatever question he don't want to answer. He could have went out there. Hey, we done seen stars go out there, give little statements, and then just leave.
Yeah. Bare minimum. Bare minimum. Yeah. What DJ did. You know what DJ said. If you heard what DJ said, right? Bare minimum.
Yeah, he called Nate McMillan.
Yeah. But what he came out and actually said was, he didn't even get into it with him. Talk about this. Hey, we gotta play better. XYZ. It wasn't even long. We gotta play better. I called them and that's it. And but I get it. But people gonna make up narrative. If we just win, we won't be talking about this foolishness.
There you go, right there. There you go, right there, man. Winning solves everything, man.
We went on that little run this last month or early this month, right? Everybody was talking totally different, right?
Right.
Until New York and Charlotte, right? So winning will solve everything, in my opinion.
Give me your thoughts on if let's say Quinn Snyder is the coach. What's your thoughts if Quinn Snyder is the coach? Foot?
Well, I like Quinn Snyder when he got the job up in Utah. I think he's a good coach, right? I think he's a good coach. Now I heard you before I got on. I just got to get off. We just got to get off this. Coaches developing players, right? Let's address this, Red.
Yeah.
Again, the NBA is not like the NFL with multiple camps and this a whole couple of months. Training camp is 3 weeks, then preseason, right?
That's it.
You can't really do nothing with those guys because of CBA. And obviously, they can come in the gym. They can use facilities, and then they can use some of the trainers, right? My whole thing with the problem is these dudes are coming out of school too damn early. They don't understand the game. They don't know the game. Just like JC, Clint, all them just said, they need some more guidance, right?
They ain't getting no
So
structure from the coaches. I get you.
what? No, no, no,
They
no,
ain't getting
no,
no they ain't getting no structure from the coaches. I
no,
got you.
no. They say they got structure, but they don't understand. They can't provide. They can't do what he's told that he's provided for them to do, right? They're not advanced. This is what JC
Yep.
said. JC broke it down, and I love what he said. He broke it down, right? At the end of the day, it's basketball. Dribbling, shooting, defense. It ain't nothing special. Ain't nobody out here doing nothing special. People keep talking about these different systems, the X, Y, Z. It's basketball. Ain't too many different things in basketball you can do. Screen roll, run, get open, motion. Everybody running pretty much a motion offense,
That's facts.
Just like
right?
the NFL.
Yeah. Now NFL is totally different.
Well,
NFL. Go ahead.
people. The only really thing that changes, like NFL terminology, but I mean, basically the
Everybody
schemes.
run the same stuff though.
They not, they not too far off. Like you say, it ain't nothing where you like, wow,
Okay,
what are they?
running the same thing. Yes. NFL run the same thing. They do have schemes and stuff like that. But in basketball, it ain't no true system. Like I keep seeing people posted about system this, system that. It's freaking basketball. Put the damn ball in the basket. You know, that's it.
Basically,
People make this thing so complicated, right?
I
Now,
agree.
if we have some talent, but we don't have the mentality. I'm gonna say JJ. Like people fussing last year, JJ need to play. His ass was lost, right?
Yep.
He was lost.
Yeah, he was.
Yep.
I've seen this dude in the AAU circuit when I'm having teams at AAU circuit. This dude can go coast to coast on, and he long as shit. If you seen when Clutch had to work out with their draft picks last year, I don't know if y'all saw that thing on ESPN where Clutch Sports had all their players out there working out. Right? Yeah, anybody seen that? And
Yeah, JJ was out there balling out.
That dude got his chest at the rim. You see what I'm saying? And he keep going. If y'all pay attention, he'll get the ball and go down the court. He'll get in the freaking lane and pass it.
Yep.
Watch him. He passed too damn much. When you see he can actually score, he don't have no confidence. The team, if you seen these interviews, these teams. So I'm not going to put a dude out there with no confidence, right? You know it's just so many things. People talking about JC. He need more touches.
Fault, man.
No. He need no more touches, but he third on the team. He get more touches than Dre.
Well, I think that's right because Dre. I don't really think Dre is that premium offensive weapon.
No,
and
he's not.
I think that JC can get there. I think and I was saying, I don't know if you were listening to it here, but what I was saying earlier, and like I genuinely believe this. If you watch the Hawks and you watch it close, like I have these last month and a half or so, and you guys have been watching the whole season. The bottom line is this, right? They're using JC incorrectly, man. Like he is not a player that should be spotting up for 3-5 times a game, damn it. You know what I mean? He's not that premium shooter, man. If you give him 2 attempts a game, he'll hit one of them. But if you let him drive and produce the way we've seen him do it before, where he can draw fouls and he can take it to the rim, that he needs to play that kind of basketball. And I don't know if it's necessarily only Nate McMillan's fault that that's the way it was played, because I think Trae Young influences how this team plays offensively night in, night out. He controls what they do, and they need to get JC more involved in the paint because he's unstoppable there if he uses his physicality like we need to.
But you know what, Jordan?
Go ahead.
It go back to what JC said today. I mean, said in the press conference yesterday, man. They need to be spoon-fed what to do. So it's like this. You know, when you go out there and we play pickup ball, you know from the jump, your first couple shots, oh yeah, I ain't feeling it today. Let me find another way to score the ball.
Exactly.
And it's funny because when we outside just playing pickup, there's no coach to tell you that. But for some reason, these players on our team need the coach. Like JC know he ain't hitting these threes. So why would he keep shooting them? Because nobody told him to stop. Like sometimes these players, and I'm not knocking JC because like Foot said, I appreciate JC keeping it a buck. But like bro. Trae, JC, Hunter, they on their second contracts. So spoon fed should be done with.
It's over.
You on
It's
your
over.
second deal. Why do I still need to? When JC said development, I was like,
Boy,
you
I bust
making
out, boy.
125 million, and we still got to develop you? Are we kidding right now?
One more
And
thing
if
is
we
why.
still- then, like I said, he wasn't talking about developing nothing when he was signing that deal.
And Damon, well, tell me this: why is JC the realest player on this team when he's the person who's been constantly put in trade talks and disrespected every fucking year about
He's the
the
closest.
issue with his offense? You're like,
But
that's
what
not
that
cool,
does?
man.
You know what that showed you, Jordan? That showed you JC's character.
He's
that's
a real,
why.
yeah, he's
That's
real.
why
Bro.
I don't see. That's one of the reasons I like Collins, because Collins, he's a guy with high character, and I mean, every interview I've ever seen with Collins, he don't bullshit around, bro. Like he'll
At
tell.
all.
Now he
At
ain't gonna come
all.
out and say crazy, but you can read between the lines when he says stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like when he was complaining about not getting the ball, and he did the I don't know if y'all remember the what's the girl we got? Amy Feinberg, whatever her name is. She got a little podcast with the Hawk players, and she interviewed John. He came on her podcast, I want to say beginning of the year. He said, hey, I want to get more involved in the offense. You know what I'm saying? I want to help the team win. So, like with Collins, I respect that. I can respect that as a grown man. I can respect when somebody out there and keeping it real. Now, obviously, we do know in pro sports or any type of professional atmosphere, you're not gonna go out there and burn it, throw your business, your coach, your teammates, employees, whatever you want to call it. You're not gonna go out there and throw them under the bus publicly. You see,
Unless you got Rivers.
Yeah. Hey, let
Yeah.
me respond to something real quick, Jordan, about about JC, right? About his 3-point shooting and where he is at on the floor.
Yeah.
So one thing, I'm a very analytical person, right? When I was assistant coach in high school, I did analytics, right? I say if you shoot that many times, that's how many times you can go rebound, right? We was playing a team, and we was playing Woodward Academy. No, who we got? Whatever that team is in this team in freaking Covington, East Side. All they do is come down, everybody just jacking. That's their game, right? They wouldn't listen to me, right? I put the game plan together. They would listen to me. They shoot this many times, this many three, and rebound and go shoot again. All you need to do is rebound. We got them in the region tournament first as a 6th seed, 5th seed, or whatever, right?
Yep.
All right. The players listened and did what I told them to do. Eastside didn't know what hit them. They were like the 2nd or 3rd seed. They didn't know what hit them. We wanted to make up to the championship, right? But the whole point is, every time I go look at these numbers, and it's out there like forever, right? JC, when he touches the ball, he had the ball 1.3 seconds, and he pass it. He do a lot of what JJ does. When he's aggressive to the hole, he can get anything he wants, right? The problem is, number one, he need to work on his damn handle. He need to stop letting these little small ass guard body him as well. If he just put the ball on the floor and get to the freaking rack with all this trying to avoid something, he can be great. That's his issue. It's not just shoot three. He's one of the key players on that high pick and roll. It's not just alley-oop, it's other stuff. Bad to do them when you roll, back him in, get the ball, and go up. You don't have to always catch alley-oop. Right? So I look at the game a different way because I used to study game film.
Yeah, let me respond to that. Let me respond to that quickly though, because the other thing though that I do, like, I don't have any issue with the way that you broke that down actually, but what I will say is this: one of the points you had was that he needs to improve on his ball handling, and I see where you're at. But what I will say is this, right? This whole team was constructed poorly with that regard in mind. Okay, you have one of the premium ball handlers in the NBA at point guard. Who else on this? And I mean, maybe you can argue DeJounte's a good ball handler too. But any one of your forwards and center, they can't touch the ball and expect to do nothing with it. Okay, so you got to think it's more glaring of an issue on John Collins because of that. But if he was utilized correctly and put into a system with better ball handling, that wouldn't even be a concern because you don't expect him to do that. We are constructed so poorly that we need him to do that, and that's not his game. And yes, he can improve on that, and he needs to, but he needs to, and it's a glaring issue because our system is bad. That's number one. Number two is this. number two is this. I'm with you with him needing to be more aggressive. And like I said, I don't necessarily believe personally that it's his fault that he's not being as aggressive. I truthfully believe, because we've seen it when he's given more free reins to do stuff in this offense, that he's been able to take it to people and be more aggressive and be that 20 and 10 a night per guy because he's given the touches to do so and he's given the free reins to do so. Right now, the way that it's drawn is this whole team has an issue with attacking the basket. Every single player, even Trae Young, who gets to the free throw line more than anybody else, these guys need to go to the basket more. The number one thing that's the most frustrating thing for me to watch and see on this team is you guys are in the bonus with 5 minutes left.
Boy,
ain't a damn one of you guys go to the basket.
Boy.
That's not right. That's not basketball. They're all still passing it to shoot it on the perimeter. It makes no sense to me at all. You know what I mean? Like, you guys need to start, especially these guys like Bogdanovich and DeJounte Murray. Like, these guys are lengthy-ish guards who are silky enough to get through and make people want to reach for the ball. You're going to get more fouls. You're going to go to the line more. Bro, the only person who gets to the line consistently is Trae Young. That's a problem. You know what I mean? What I mean? That's a huge problem. Yes. And the other thing is,
Jordan? You know what, Jordan? If y'all go back, if you listen to me long enough, I said that. I said Dre Hunter should be averaging between 5 to 7 free throws a night. If he can give us that, he will average 20. And every time he go to that free throw line, 5 to 7 times, he got 20 points.
Yeah.
Why he don't do it?
Yes.
Sometimes maybe I think he's still kind of, and I'm just trying to get him benefit of the doubt. Maybe he kind of still nervous about his knee. I don't know, like, because he definitely got the length and the ability.
Yeah.
So why he not doing it consistently? And you know who else? DeJounte Murray. He don't get to the free throw line.
He don't get. Yes. He's his mid-range guy. And just to add on real quick, John. That's the next thing I was gonna say. We in the bonus all the damn time. They still jacking up. That'd be pissing me off.
It doesn't make sense.
I be just want to throw something at the TV, and you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And I also, you're right. Go ahead.
And you know what? That would make sense if we was one of the top 3-point shooting team. We like bottom 3 in 3-point percentage, but they keep shooting, especially JC. I don't know why he keeps shooting shits. He's terrible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But hey family, I'm gonna have to cut the show short tonight, guys. I got some I got husband duties tonight. Gotta go watch a movie with the wife.
Oh yeah. Hey, real quick, man. When it's a notification, there any notifications that when you come do these shows, man?
Yeah, you just press the bell next to the sub on YouTube, and it should come up. It should come up.
Okay.
And I always post it in all the Hawk groups that I'm in and on Twitter.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all be having.
But if you still want to chop it up, you can stay on, and we can still talk after the show's not live.
Yeah, like we'll do like after hour. So I'll just stop the show, but usually people just stay on after the show and still chop it up if they want.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's a good conversation on here, man.
Everybody for tapping in. Salute to the chat. Salute to everybody on the panel today. Salute my guy RJ was on the panel earlier. Pharaoh, Bud, Mr. Gray up here again. My guy Jordan. Once again, I appreciate y'all, man. And like I said, this is what the channel for, man. So as Hawks fans can get together, voice our opinions, our concerns. So if you ain't tapped in, hey, some of y'all be in that chat. Don't be scared to come up here on the panel, man. We want to put a face to the name. We want to hear what you got to say. You feel me? So we out of here. I appreciate everybody stopping by. I tried to do a morning show today. My boy Jordan tapped in and everything. I'm gonna try to do it again tomorrow to see if we can get that up and running. You feel me? Since I'm back on my work at home schedule again. So I'm gonna try to shoot for 9 o'clock my time. So that's 8. So that's 10 o'clock Eastern. So 10 in the morning Eastern. We're gonna do a Hawks morning show. If y'all want to tap in there, y'all know I post the links and stuff on Twitter and in all the Hawk groups that I'm in. But I'm up out of here. I salute y'all. Thanks for tapping in, and we up out of here, family. Peace.
Absolutely.